Hey everybody, this is Reggie Green over at Team Green and Fairway Independent Mortgage. Actually recording a video for the loan officers and the loan officer teams on our team, Team Green, but I may share this with the public, so I'm just doing an intro real quick. But one of the things we discussed with our loan officer, Patty Hooks, today was kind of systemizing her business and doing everything you can to scale the business. So why should you listen to me? So as a single loan officer over 6 years, I averaged $50 million per year. So 300 million almost exactly over 6 years without minimal help and just basically working as a loan officer on my own. I did have an assistant for the last year and a half of it, but he was relatively new to the business. And one of the things that always helped me to really scale my business and take my numbers to the highest possible level is every part of the home loan is pre-scripted and pre-engineered. So the client has an amazing experience, the agent has a great experience, and it's very easy for me to scale because I do every single loan exactly the same. So I think that's really important. So over here, and I know this reading's pretty small, so I apologize. I'm not big on doing these huge professional videos, just like to get content out there when it's asked for. So to scale a business, I really feel to scale your mortgage business, you have to systemize every part of the process, okay? And just going over that again, like literally go through the loan from start to finish and systemize how you do every single thing and do it the same every time. Okay, including if you have loan officer assistants in different roles, every person should have a role that they do and that they're counted on doing every time. And then template every part of the process. And what I mean by template is a lot of times you're doing email updates or pre-qualifications, anything like that. Anything you do more than once should have a template that you can just change the specific things to the client, the real estate agent, the title. So what I do is I have a lot of email signatures. So I have an email signature for pre-qual, I have an email signature for Monday update, I have an email signature for Tuesday update, email signature for Thursday update, LSUs, all those things. Everything is templated. So when I want to write those emails, I have a pre-template and I just change a couple things and it works well. So those are my kind of secrets or suggestions on how to scale your business. So this is particularly for the loan process. So I'm going to go over what I do and hopefully you find some value in it and can add this value to your business. Okay, so systemizing the loan experience. Now we do refinances, but we focus on purchase and that's really the focus of our business. So this process is really going to be tailored to a purchase loan. So typically when you are starting a purchase loan, what happens is it starts where you get an application and a pre-qualification from the client, okay? Now, what I always recommend is having a systematic way you send that pre-qualification, a systematic template for the needs list, and then when you get off the phone with the client, make sure they know exactly what the next step is, like what's going to happen next. There should be no confusion on what happens after you get off the phone with someone because that creates anxiety and the home buying experience already has some anxiety associated with it because it's such a big change. So you really want to work on that proactive communication, telling them what happens before they have to ask. Okay, so every time you hang up with your phone at the application process, they should know exactly the next steps. Now, especially on the first conversation and right after you finish a pre-qual, I follow up everything with a text and an email. Always put everything in writing, especially a major development in a loan, because a lot of times people will come back to you and say, hey, I didn't know about that. You say, hey, I apologize if for any reason you didn't get it, but I did send you this email or this text on this day, and you can bring it up, and it's an off on you because our reputation and our customer service is really how we build a business. So you want to make sure you have everything in writing, especially important developments on a loan. Okay, so you take an application, you have an exact process that you do that. Okay, now when you take an application for a purchase loan, sometimes they're putting in an offer that day or very quickly, but a lot of times they are not buying for months out. Okay, so one of the things you're going to want to identify is your follow-up process. And I think it's what you really want to look at is when do they actually want to buy. So if you know someone's going to buy in 12 months and you have a pre-qual, you're going to have to update the credit whenever they do buy, but you have a pre-qual, you might want to follow up with that person every 3-4 weeks. Now, if someone's buying right now and actively searching right now, you're probably going to want to follow up with them every week. And all I do is very easy. I just put a reoccurring Outlook calendar reminder right after the pre-qual. It's going to come up in my Outlook that, hey, I need to call Vanessa today because she's looking for a house, and I'm going to do that as a reoccurrence, and I'm going to call her every time it pops up in my email every week. So have a systematic way that you are following up with your pre-qualifications, because everywhere in this market, people are trying to pull you off the deal. Okay, so you want to do your best to stay in front of your client, make sure that they know you care about them, make sure they know you care about their experience and their business, and make sure you're always there to answer their questions. And sometimes people are afraid to ask those, so the more you follow up with them, they open up a little bit more to you and they trust you. So have a systematic follow-up system that you have based upon when they are buying directly after that pre-qualification. Okay, now we go to when you go under contract. Okay, this is a huge moment for the client. Okay, so what you want to do is, whenever I see a new contract come through, one of my first things I'm trying to do is call that client and just be super excited for them, congratulate them, tell them how happy you are for them, because it's a big moment. It's hard to find a house that you want to buy, and the fact that they're under contract on a new place that they're going to live with them or their family is really a big moment in their life. So I think it's really important that your system should be, you need to call that client as soon as you see that, or as soon as you know that offer is accepted, and let them know, like, congratulations, that's really awesome. Okay, so I think that needs to be part of your system immediately when you get a new contract. Okay, the next thing that we do is, after you congratulate them, let them know the next steps. Okay, like typically when we get a contract, our first steps are, we're going to reach out to the title company, we're going to get their title fees. Once we have their title fees, we're going to call you back and email you over options so we can go over those together and pick an option to lock and move forward on your loan. So make sure when you end that congratulation call, they know the next steps. I mean, that's really important on the whole system. Okay, also, you're going to get that contract, so you're going to order the title fees so you can present options for your borrower to lock. And then we also include an intro email to both agents and the title company, letting them know the process, how we update them throughout the loan, and kind of how we are going to handle the communication on this process. I would also recommend making a phone call to both the buyer and the listing agent, and letting them know verbally how you communicate during the process. See if they have any transaction coordinators they want added to your email updates, etc., etc. So you really want to set the expectations right at the front for both the client and the real estate agents and the title company of how you're going to communicate. The more information that they know, the better experience that they're going to have, and there's going to be no surprises. Okay, now you got the title fee, so what are you going to do with the client? So this is kind of the next step that you systemize. Okay, once we get the title fees, what we try to do is put together 2 to 3 different rate options, different closing costs, and then call and go over the client. Now, I think this is really important. You do not want to email the clients the terms of the loans that you're presenting until they answer the phone. Okay, because if you send them the options and you're not there to explain them, and somehow they misunderstand, like prepaids being closing costs, anything like that, you could lose a transaction or lose trust without them understanding that. So one thing I'd really recommend, have the email ready when they answer the phone, send it, and then call them and go over it. I think that's really important. Okay, now typically what happens with me when I was a loan officer is called them, went over the options, gave them my recommendation, but make sure that they know that it's up to them how they want to do it. And normally they're going to pick an option relatively quickly to lock in. Okay, so what we do is we lock the loan. Once I lock the loan, this is a reoccurring theme. Before I get off the phone with them, I go over the loan process from start to finish and tell them everything that's going to happen on the loan process. And since I've done so many, I can literally do this in my sleep. I could be like watching ESPN SportsCenter and explain the whole loan process. So even verbally having a system that you do that, I think is important. So I call them, I lock the loan, I explain the loan from start to finish, and I set the proper expectations. I really need these documents within 24 to 48 hours. You want to set expectations on when they have to complete the disclosures and when they have to get any remaining documents into you, because if you don't set an expectation, they will procrastinate. So if you want us to close your loan on time, I really need you to finish these disclosures today and get these remaining documents into me, your updated pay stub, your updated bank statement, in the next 24 to 48 hours. Okay? And that way, if for any reason they take a week or two to get you these documents, which causes you to not be able to submit the loan to underwriting, things like that, you have an off for you not making that closing, because usually we can make the closing as long as the documents and the disclosures get done in a timely manner. Okay, so lock the loan, explain the loan from start to finish. After you explain the loan from start to finish, you should have an email template going over the loan from start to finish. And here you can include some videos and things like that, but have something in writing or something that they have that they can always reference. So if they're confused about some of the process, you have written it down all in an email or have videos and explain each part of the process. So if they're up late one night and have some anxiety about the process, they can reference your email that went over the loan from start to finish and explains everything that happens when you're doing a loan and buying a house. So that's what we do when we lock the client and really start the loan process. Okay, now I always did systematic follow-up with my clients. And one of the things I tell them is I say, hey, when we start your loan process, I am going to email you every Monday and Thursday, no matter what. Even if nothing is going on with your loan, I'm going to email you every Monday and Thursday. Okay, and I actually have a template for this, and it goes like this. Hi, Mr. or Mrs. Customer. I hope you're having a great Monday. Here's exactly what's going on with your loan. Thank you so much for your business. We really appreciate you. Do the same thing on Thursday. And if your client knows that you are going to update them every Monday and Thursday, if they're getting anxiety Wednesday night because something's going on, they know they're going to get an update from you on Thursday. So one of the keys to really my business and how I built it with customer service is what I call proactive communication. And I already mentioned this earlier, but answer all their questions before they have them. Overly communicate. It creates trust and it creates just a feeling of ease that you're on top of the process and that you know what you're doing and you're doing everything you can so they have a great experience. What you're doing here is you are engineering the client experience, and that's why it's important at the beginning of the loan that you write all these things down so they're very easy to follow up, and your client will have a great experience as long as you've engineered an experience from the front. Okay, so systematic follow-up with your client. I like Monday and Thursday updates. We also have some automation during certain milestone changes that we explain to the client. And then I like to call them or email them specific updates on some milestones like appraisal, the loan's approved, clear to close, and fund. Okay, so have all that systemized and templated up so it's very easy for you to do. I also like systematic follow-up with agents and clients. So what we do is we do a Tuesday update, an email update. Basically has commentary on exactly what's going on with the loan. It has an LSU attached if it's in Arizona. If it's in another state that we do business that doesn't have LSUs, we're just gonna have the commentary of exactly what's going on with the loan. Okay, keep in mind, real estate agents are 100% commission. They want to know exactly what's going on, and they also, I'm going off on a little tangent here, but when a problem happens, don't hold it. I've worked with so many loan officers that are so afraid to go over problems. As soon as you know that there could be an issue making the closing, or there's a low appraisal or something that's changing the loan, you need to tell them as soon as possible so we can adjust. So that proactive communication is super important, and it builds trust not only with your clients but with your agent partners that you're honest and you're going to be upfront with them if a problem is occurring. Okay, we have automated systems that happen throughout the loan process on certain milestones, but you could also add phone calls to the agents on probably these similar milestones. You know, an appraisal is obviously a very important part of the process, especially if it comes in low. Approval, clear to close, and fund. So have a systematic way that you're following up with the agents as well. What we like to do is we like to send, whenever we get a new contract, we send out packages every Wednesday to any new contracts over that Wednesday to Wednesday, just giving them some information about our team and why they may want to work with us in the future. So that package is also a part of our system. Okay, so this is kind of like the update process throughout the loan. Okay, now when your loan is funded, you want to make sure you have a template, a system that you contact the client. Make sure you're excited. It's a big, just like when the contract's accepted, now their home loan is funded, the house is theirs. It's a big moment for them. So don't lose focus here. You have to call them, congratulate them, thank them so much for the opportunity for you to be a part of this big moment in their life. Okay, now once you're done with that conversation, just like the loan process, you should have a system of a follow-up system of how you're going to stay in front of these clients. So when they need a home loan in the future, whether it's a refinance, whether they're buying again, whether they have friends or family, you have ways that you're staying in front of them. Okay, so what we do is we explain to them all the benefits of being a Team Green client. They're going to get a monthly digest from HomeBot. They're going to get a personalized newsletter from me that I actually write. We have a private client group. We also ask them for a Google review. Just say, hey, could you do me this huge favor? Okay, when people are looking at us for a home loan, they look online, and the more reviews out there that we have, and we have customers telling the public that we did a great job for them, it's easier for us to gain trust in new clients. So if you could do us a big favor, we'd really appreciate it if you do this Google review. Have a templated email and make it super easy for them to do that, and you can also add follow-up drips to make sure that they do it if they don't do it immediately. Okay. Also, I think it's important to friend them on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. And then also have a database system. We at the end of every month, I take all our past clients, I put them in HomeBot. I try to invite them to our private client group. I put them in our monthly email service, which we use MailChimp. So we have a system at the end of every single month where we're adding our clients to all our database to make sure we're reaching out and staying in front of them. We also have a systematic touch points that we're contacting clients after closing. What we do is we try to contact 2 letters of the alphabet every day. So if it's the first week of the year, we'll contact you if your last name ends in A and B, next week C and D, and you have a systematic way of doing it versus just, hey, this customer popped into my head and I'm going to call them. If you have a systematic way you do it, you have a roadmap that you can continually execute on. And that's really the theme for almost everything we're doing. Systems and templates don't have bad days, and they really allow you to scale your business. Okay, same thing when the loan funds, you should have a way that you're doing it with the agents. Okay, what I like to do is have a congratulation email to the agents, and then maybe not that day, but I'm going to call them shortly afterwards and just, find out how we did. Hey, congratulations on this closing. Just wanted to touch base. We always call both listing and buyer's agents, and just wanted to see, how was your experience with our team? And try to get information out of them, good and bad, because the bad information can make you better. Okay, so I call them, ask them how we perform, and then I also say, hey, we're always looking to partner with great agents. I'm not super salesy about it, but I say, how's your current lending relationship going? Okay, and sometimes they're like, great, I've been working with the same person for 25 years, that's awesome. I'm glad you have that great relationship with your lender. So you don't have to be super salesy here. You just ask them how their current lending relationship is. Sometimes that opens up an opportunity for you, sometimes it doesn't. One of the things I always discuss here is one of the things that's big in our business is we're talking about value and trying to add value to their origination, not just be a great loan officer to their clients. So I say, hey, it's awesome that you work with this loan officer for 20 years. Just so you know, one of the things that we really pride ourselves on is being an active participant in our business, our real estate agent's business. So we try to provide a lot of tools, be involved in your business, whether that be a lead origination, coaching, events, things like that. So if for any reason your loan officer is not doing that, I'm going to email you some of the things that we do for our agents. If for any reason something pops up and you'd like to talk to us, we'd love the opportunity to have a meeting with you. Okay, so explain the value proposition. You don't have to be pushy. Just kind of explain what you're about. And normally they're going to be very nice to you because you're not being pushy and you're just giving them information. So that's really all we do. And then we just continue to repeat the process. It's not sexy. It's not this crazy thing. You're just doing the same thing every time, and that really helps you build a business. So hope you found some value in this. Have a great day, and again, it's Reggie Green at Team Green Fairway Independent Mortgage. Thank you. Bye-bye.